You know, I'm going to start this podcast in a very different way than usual. I feel like the whole, hey guys, welcome to the Spark podcast thing is sort of irrelevant at the moment. Because you've clicked on the link or you've moved on to the next show on Castbox or on YouTube or whatever. You know what you're listening to. I don't need to tell you. That was just kind of a carryover thing from presentations that I used to do when I was in college. It's just the right way to do it, I think. And I don't think it's necessary for a podcast, which is a free-form thing in essence. You know what you're listening to. You know my voice. You know what I'm going to talk about most of the time. And the second thing I want to get at before I get into this is I realize how ironic it is to do a podcast based on motivation and getting things done and then not do a podcast for 3 weeks. But I was on holiday, so, you know, fuck you, it's my show. I can do what I want. Right. This is gonna be one of those rambly podcasts. I have nothing planned at all because I've been on holiday, and since I got back from holiday, I've been just working out like a madman. Because I got fat on holiday. It was excellent, and I miss it. And working out is killing me right now. I'm in so much pain, but it's that good burning pain. My traps are on fire, but that's a good thing. Right, updates over the last 3 weeks. As I said, I went on holiday to a beautiful part of Spain, somewhere I'd never heard of before, called Islandia. It's on the south coast of Spain. We flew into Faro, me and Laura. Got a bus over the border and then just kind of chilled out for a fucking week of nothing. All I did was sit at the pool, eat, we walked a bit, I read loads of my book. It was fucking amazing. We had an all-inclusive holiday, so you didn't have to worry about anything. You'd get up in the morning. We usually got up around 8 or 9. 9 o'clock is sleeping for me now. I've gotten to that age where 9 o'clock is like, oh, that's enough sleep. I can get up and do things. Breakfast was between 8 and 10:30, I think, which was, you know, it's a buffet kind of style. So I had like bacon and eggs and, well, I didn't have eggs. I don't like eggs. I had bacon and bread mostly for breakfast, and coffee, which I'm drinking right now. It's a fucking excellent coffee I'm drinking right now, which it doesn't sponsor the podcast, but there are some lads from Wexford who make it. So if they want to get in touch with me, fucking excellent. It's called Coffee House Lane, brewed in Wexford. Or sorry, not brewed in Wexford. Roasted in Wexford and brewed in my house, in my cafetiere. That's another thing I've invested in, is a cafetiere, and it's changed my fucking life. Coffee is so damn delicious and fuels me. Where was I? Yeah, but you woke up in the morning, had a bit of breakfast, had some water or coffee or whatever you wanted with your breakfast. You could go out then, and everything was all inclusive, so drinks at the bar were all paid for already, so you could get beer, coffee, whatever the fuck you wanted. It was free. Excellent. Then we'd either go for a walk down to the beach, or we'd sit at the pool, or we'd go to the shopping centre and pick up, I don't know, like snacks or something, like fucking chocolate or crisps or whatever we were in the mood for. There was also loads of coffee places around, which blew my little mind, because you could get like a cafe con leche, which is like it's kind of like a latte, but it was like 1.30 and this was in like a fairly high not highbrow, but like fairly well respected coffee place. We asked around. Well, I asked the one person around there who spoke English where to go for coffee, and they told me this place was the best place. And I was like, oh, I was expecting to pay maybe a $5 for a coffee. It was 1.30, man. It was fucking excellent. I'd love to live there. If coffee was that cheap here, I would have no complaints. I'd make a lot less of it myself. Although no, I do enjoy making my own coffee. But that was another thing about the place. that we went to was that nobody spoke English at all, which was fucking excellent. Nobody bothered me for the whole fucking week. It was really tranquil and relaxing, and there was no emails. I left my phone at home. I had a little flip phone for emergencies, and that was it. So I have no fucking photos of the holiday, so we can't know if it actually happened or not. Maybe it's just something that I imagined in my mind. Just took too many drugs and went on a trip to Spain in my mind. I hope that didn't happen, because I did come back with sunburn. That'd be fucking trippy if you could imagine yourself getting sunburned and then you did get sunburned. But anyway, there was also lunch between 1, or was it half 1? I can't remember. Between either 1 or half 1 and 3. So you go up and get whatever fuck you want, and you could get desserts, and you could get wine and water, and it was all included, or beer, or whatever the fuck you wanted to drink as well. Then you chilled out for a while. We had a game of pool every day. I believe I won overall. Me and Laura are very fucking competitive with our pool. It's the first thing that we played when we started going out first was pool, and she fucking hockeyed me, and I didn't take it fucking well. I'm a very chill guy, but when it comes to competition, something snaps inside me and I go, I have to fucking win, regardless of who I'm against. Like I have to fucking win. I didn't get angry or anything, but I was like, when you first start going out with someone, you don't want to show them who you are really. You want to show them the best side of you. You don't want to be, these are all my flaws, deal with them straight away. You want to be like, these are my nice parts. And if I snap at you because you beat me at something, that's only because I'm a fucking competitive asshole. But I don't know, that's something that's been fucking beaten into me, is just be the best. But most of the time I'm not. So at that stage, I didn't let her know that I was upset that she won. I wasn't upset, but I wanted to win. She didn't know. I was like, oh, it's cool, I let you win. Ha 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 ha. So ever since then, I've been getting better at pool. I hope I have, but anyway, maybe she's just like easing off because she saw that I didn't like it. I'll never fucking know. She's never gonna fucking tell me. But then after that chill out space, we'd have dinner, a few drinks, some wine, some beer, some cerveza, and there was a show every night at it was 10:30. I think they had a different show every night. The best show was it was called African Footprint. There was some African lads came in and did like fucking flips and shit, and they were on unicycles, and the thing that blew my mind, that me and Laura were like freaking out about, and nobody else applauded, was this is a very visual thing, and it's difficult it's not going to be as cool as me talking about it, but just use your fucking imagination. He got like a kitchen knife and put the handle of it in his mouth, so the blade was like vertically upwards, and he caught an empty vodka bottle and like flipped it in the air and caught it on the blade of the knife. I did that a couple of times and like flipped it from the blade of the knife up onto the neck of the bottle and landed on the blade of the knife again. And then he took another vodka bottle and flipped that onto the vodka bottle that was on top of the knife. And me and Laura were just like, what the fuck is he doing? How the fuck did he do that? And no one else was like even mildly impressed. I was like, that's fucking amazing. And people were just like, do the unicycle again. It's like, anyone can do a fucking unicycle. This shit is fucking crazy. Oh. Coffee's good. But yeah, it was a very good fucking holiday, and I miss it. Came back to work then and it was fucking mental. We're a bit short staffed at the moment, so it's everyone fucking pulling their own weight, and I'm a heavy dude, so I've got a lot of fucking weight to pull. But we get through it, and I've kind of gotten the stranglehold on it again. Everything's going fine. What else have I been doing? My book has gotten fucking insane. I'm currently on Lord of Chaos, which is book 6 of the Wheel of Time, and I've got like 4 chapters left. I'm going to finish it today after the podcast because today's Saturday and I don't really have anything to do, and I'm looking forward to it. I read like 500 pages on holiday because I just got fucking absorbed in it. It's a fucking excellent story. It's kind of like, I was thinking about it the other day. It's kind of like a cinematic universe where there's loads of different stories happening, but they all interact with each other on some sort of level. Which is, I imagine, what most epic fantasies are. But this is like the most epic fantasy. There's 14 books, all of like fucking 800 pages average each. It's fucking crazy. I really enjoy it, and I'm only on book 6 of 14. And also it's finished by written by Robert Jordan, who is a fucking fantastic author. I don't know if he's written anything other than these books, but I've read 6 of them straight through. And the last 3 were co-written by Brandon Sanderson, who is my favourite living author at the moment. He's written things like the Mistborn trilogy and the Stormlight Archive. Stormlight Archive is fucking amazing, by the way. If anyone is interested in it, there's an amazing audiobook version of it, narrated by Kate Redding and Michael Kramer, who are like the most amazing fucking fantasy duo ever. I didn't really like Kate Redding at the start, but like after like 2 chapters, she was like my favourite person. She was just excellent. I had gotten used to listening to Michael Kramer, and I got annoyed that she had taken some of his work, but it's a fucking huge, they're fucking enormous books. So like, I have enough Michael Kramer to keep me happy. Got my buddy Niall turned onto it actually after we ran the half marathon in Achill Island, and he's flown through. There's only 3 books at the moment of a planned 10, and he's flown through them. So like, they're like 30-hour audiobooks, and I wholeheartedly recommend them. I fucking wholeheartedly recommend The Wheel of Time too. But I could talk about that for fucking hours. It's time to move on. Speaking of running, yesterday morning, I woke up with a bit of fucking enthusiasm in me because I was listening to Joe Rogan tell Bert Kreischer that he could lose 30 pounds in a month. He was just fucking talking him up, and I woke up like wanting to run fucking 400 miles. So I signed up for the Cork Marathon, which is taking place on the 31st of May 2020. It's about 9 months away, so I'm not too freaking out about it yet, but I am training like a motherfucker. I've been doing nothing in my spare time besides running and lifting weights since I got back from holiday. Actually, that's a bit of a lie. I also watched the new series of Disenchanted, which is, it's like my new favourite easy watching show. It's not amazing by any means, but Lucy, the little demon, I don't know if you've ever seen fucking Disenchanted. It's on Netflix. It's like Matt Groening's new show. The guy who made The Simpsons and Futurama. Simpsons and Futurama are like the basis for my entire comedy funny bone. They just hit me like fucking perfectly well. Old Simpsons, not new Simpsons. And Futurama has always been fucking hilarious. Disenchanted is like a medieval kind of Futurama with like magic and stuff, but there's a little demon in it named Lucy, short for Lucifer, I imagine, played by Eric Andre, who just fucking, he's hilarious. He's like my favorite fictional cartoon character of anything ever. He just fucking hits me like that. Everything he says, I'm just like, ha! He's so funny. He's just like, he's a demon, so he's a dickhead, and it's fucking hilarious, and he's funny about it, and it's Eric Andre, and Eric Andre's fucking funny too. I haven't seen a lot of his stuff, but what I have seen of Eric Andre has been pretty fucking funny. What else is going on? I have moved up in the phone world. Laura's phone, which was my old phone now, which is Galaxy S5? No, J5. Kind of packed up recently. So she kind of, I won't say forced me. She encouraged me to buy a new OnePlus 7 Pro, which I was thinking about doing anyway. And this was just kind of a little nudge in the right direction to go get one. So yeah, I bought a OnePlus 7 Pro, and I gave Laura my old OnePlus 5. And she's delighted, and I'm fucking delighted, because the OnePlus 7 Pro is fucking amazing. It's all screen. It's got like a little pop-out camera on the top if you want to take selfies. I'm not really a selfie guy, but, you know, it's fucking cool. It's like those little shutters from old, or well, not old, but like is it SLR cameras? The big fancy cameras, the fucking flash pops up. It's cool. I enjoy it. It's also very fucking pretty, and it has a 90 hertz refresh rate screen, which is kind of blowing my mind. I thought I wouldn't get any more out of anything higher than a 60 hertz refresh rate screen, but it's kind of changed my perspective on it. Just like browsing things, it's so smooth. There's no stutter or anything, and it's making me want to get a new computer screen, because my computer screen at the moment is a 1080p 60 hertz monitor, and I think I should get a better one. But then again, I should probably get a better PC. I'm just blowing fucking money away, man. I've got grand designs for money I don't have. The real driving factor of me getting a new PC is Cyberpunk 2077, which is coming out pretty soon. It's April 2020, I believe. But it's new CD Projekt Red game. If you don't know who CD Projekt Red are, they're a team who made the Witcher series. And if you haven't played the Witcher series, get the fuck out of here. What are you fucking listening to the podcast for? Go play the Witcher series. The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt at least. Assassin of Kings is fucking amazing as well. I haven't played the first one, but I wasn't aware of it at the time, and it's kind of janky enough that I don't want to go back to it. But you should play Assassin of Kings and the Wild Hunt, because they're just fucking some of the greatest video games of all time. It's fucking amazing. Storm Lorenzo was a fucking letdown. I wasn't aware of it until Tuesday morning. I came in early to work because I needed to change some lamps in endoscopy. And endoscopy in Limerick is the fucking busiest place in the world. So I had to get in early before the cases started to change out the lamps. And I met my manager, and he was talking about his preparations for the storm. And I was like, what storm? And he was like, you know, the big storm that's coming. Like, that's supposed to be the biggest storm ever. It's supposed to be like the first the hurricane has gotten across the Atlantic, and it's going to be the biggest fucking problem we have to deal with all month. What a load of bollocks that was. I was reading on RTE that there was some fucking professor in Maynooth who was saying that it's going to be a storm to remember. And was it on Wednesday? No, it was on Thursday. Yeah, I was driving home on Thursday around 5:30, and I live in a kind of fairly forested area, so I was expecting trees to be down everywhere, and no, fucking nothing happened at all. There was a bit of a breeze. It was a bit windy. It was a bit cold. I lit the fire, but no destruction at all. You know, it was fine. Woke up in the morning, looked around, nothing happened. And I started thinking to myself, you know, maybe I live in Limerick and it's fairly, like, away from the coast. I was like, maybe the west of Ireland is just fucking gone, you know? Maybe there is no west of Ireland anymore. So I went into work, and one of the lads is from Kerry. I asked him how Kerry got on. He said it was fine. Nothing fucking happened. So it was a total fucking blowout. And it's got me thinking now that I know fucking storms will get bad. The storms are going to be worse as global warming gets worse, because the increased temperature in the Atlantic waters kind of encourages a hurricane to move across it. And I read somewhere that it might get to the stage where the waters in Europe are so warm that hurricanes won't go to America anymore. They may come the whole way across and go through Europe. So I don't know if that's exactly going to happen, but storms are going to get worse if global warming gets worse. And the more that we freak out about these storms that aren't going to do anything, it's going to be like the boy who cried wolf. Now, don't get me wrong, we should warn people about every fucking storm. You shouldn't be out in a storm, regardless if it was a big storm or a small storm. Don't fucking go out. I know I've had stories before about me going out in storms, having lots of fun, but don't do it. I was stupid and young, and I'm not doing it anymore. I really easily could have died. Like, there was some fucking dude, was he windsurfing off the coast of Galway, and he had to get fucking uplifted by the Coast Guard. Don't fucking do that. Don't be that fucking dick, putting other people's lives at risk. You're just being an asshole. You're having fun, right? But you're literally like on the cusp of death at every fucking moment. And then if you get into trouble, you bring other people onto the cusp of death. Don't be that fucking dick. Don't go out in a storm. But the idea of saying that storm was going to be the worst fucking thing that ever happened, and like we should all batten down the hatches and close the doors and not come out for a week, and then nothing happens, I feel like people are going to be less responsive to storm warnings in the future. Like, Ophelia scared the fuck out of all of us because there was blowing fucking stadium roofs off, and well, one stadium roof off and knocking down trees left, right and centre. But the fact that there was a big warning with this one and nothing of note happened other than that fucking stupid windsurfer moron, I feel like people aren't going to take as much notice of the future storm warnings. But that's just me. Maybe people will freak out regardless. But I don't know. I'm not a meteorologist. I think that's my favourite term for a profession, is a meteorologist, because it just sounds like someone who studies meteors, not the weather. If you ask the kid if he wanted to be a meteorologist, and the kid knew something about space, the kid would be like, "Yeah, I'd love to be a meteorologist." And I'm like, "Wait, well, you're going to have to look at fucking billions of data points, and then tell old Mary that it's going to be raining tomorrow." But that's don't get me wrong, meteorology is fucking cool. You're literally predicting the fucking future. Like, yeah, it's going to rain tomorrow. And like, usually they're fairly right. There was a point when I was young where you couldn't trust the weathermen at all. You'd watch the weather after 9 o'clock news, and they'd be like, "It's going to rain for 4 days." And, you know, it's Ireland, so that's a good fucking guess, you know. And then it would be sunny for 2 of those 4 days, and we'd be like, "This is fucking great weather." For Ireland, that is great weather. But I believe I've rambled enough. I've kind of updated everyone on everything. I'm enjoying my coffee from Coffee House Lane of Wexford. You can buy it on Super Value. If Coffee House Lane wants to sponsor this video, fucking get on to me. And I appreciate it very much. If you would like to buy me a coffee, you can support me through my Patreon, which will have a link in the description. Regardless of where you're watching this, videos actually go up early on the Patreon. So, you know, if you want to get at the Spark podcast as early as possible, then you should probably head over to the Patreon and have a look. I usually upload like a couple of hours before it actually uploads on other things. I try to get for like 12 o'clock on a Saturday, so maybe like it's 10:15 now. This might be ready to go at 10:30. We'll see. And thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.